So right after we came back from Hawaii, there was actually a long weekend here in Singapore, a public holiday. So Hans had the day off on Monday, so we decided to take advantage of it and book a trip to Bangkok. It was also really, really convenient just flying from Singapore to Bangkok. It was only a few hours long and the flights are quite affordable, especially flying airlines like Scoot, which is sort of like the budget airlines in the area. Yeah, really convenient, really, really easy. I found and booked us an Airbnb in Chinatown in Bangkok. Hans was a little bit skeptical at first. It was so beautiful. It was in the roof, like the second story of a bar slash coffee shop. The owner was so sweet, and yeah, we were given the keys and we're free to go, come and go as we pleased at any time. It was like super vibey. The interior decoration was like literally stunning, really on point. You'll see in the upcoming clips. It was just so beautiful. When I saw it on Airbnb, and I'll put it in the link below, I knew we had to stay there, and I had to convince Hans a little bit just because, you know, he's kind of the one that always looks out for like our safety and our well-being. I'm safe too, but I definitely am more about like, let's do all of this kind of stuff, and he's the more rational, reasonable one who's like, okay, but let's also consider these factors. But it turned out really well. We would recommend it to literally everyone. The only thing though is that there were hella stairs and they were like super narrow, kind of steep. So coming home after a long day was kind of tiring. But then when you get to the top, it just feels so good, and it was so beautiful. Amazing location. We could walk to all of the street stalls and the food, and it was just awesome. So we just arrived in Bangkok and it's like 6:30, 7 p.m. here, so we're gonna try to head out. We're staying in Chinatown at an Airbnb. And yeah, what are we gonna do?
We're gonna hit up 8 or 9 different cafes that Sid has found within like a 5 to 10 minute walking distance.
Street food. It's
street
not
food.
like cafe.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay, street foods.
So we'll see how it goes. Yay.
Anywhere cheap is like $1.
Sweet time. So after the Patongo from earlier, we kept heading down Yaowarat and ended up at this toasted bun stall. It was so hectic and crazy, and there was a huge crowd outside. So we basically just had to push our way to the front, grab an order form, fill it out really quickly, and get our buns. There were so many fillings to choose from, but we decided to go with the strawberry jam. One bun was 25 baht, so basically 70 cents USD. Definitely worth it and really, really tasty. After that, we decided to go to this place called Nai Ek Roll Noodle. It was on our list, but once we saw the incredibly long queue outside, we knew that we had to wait. Everyone was lining up, so it had to be really, really good. The noodles were traditional rolled noodles with crispy pork. At least that was the #1 bestseller. They cost about 100 baht for the large size, and that's the equivalent of $2.80 USD. It was quite hot outside, so we could have gone for something a little cooler, but it was so tasty. We had never tried anything quite like it. The crispy pork somehow remained crispy despite the fact that it was in like a soup, but yeah, we would definitely recommend it. After that, we went to Sweet Time. It's sort of like a Southeast Asian dessert spot. We decided to go with the mixed taro ball with milk, and yeah, that cost us 50 Thai baht, so $1.39 USD, and it was so cute and the milk was perfect. After that, we sort of just decided to browse the different food stalls. There was such an ordered chaos to it all, and we were just thrilled constantly by everything that we saw. It was like being in an Anthony Bourdain documentary, but just amazing. Such an incredible feeling. For our last round of the night, we decided to go to this restaurant called Phai Kiao. We had heard about it before, and they're known for their high fire that they use in the stir-frying process. Everyone that worked there seemed like just masters of their craft. Like, you could tell they'd been doing this for years, and they were just by instinct and feeling, they knew how to do everything. We decided to order some pomegranate juice because we saw that everyone had been ordering it. But yeah, it was really, really tasty and a much needed refreshment for our hot night walking around. We also went with some tom yum soup, and their #1 item on the menu was a garlic lobster. It went for around, I want to say, 1,500 Thai baht, which was quite expensive, around $40 USD, but everything was really, really tasty. The flavors were super strong, but we were just so full by the end of the night that it was almost exhausting to eat it. That being said, despite our extreme fullness, we were quite intrigued by this mysterious mustache man drink. Basically, we stood in line pondering whether or not we should actually buy this, but in the end, of course, we had to bite the bullet and just did it. It was basically like a chocolate-based drink syrup, and then they poured some creamy milk on top, which for my lactose soul was not necessarily the best idea, but in the moment, it was quite amazing and really, really cool and refreshing for our walk back to the Airbnb. We kind of meandered a little bit and found ourselves ending up at a 7-Eleven like we always do. There were some unique offerings, including this corn, and yeah, that's how we ended the night.
So today we'll finally be escaping Chinatown, and we're not escaping Chinatown, we're going to Chinatown Gate. Oh, this is so hot. Okay. Today our itinerary is pretty simple. We'll start off with a Starbucks, then go to Chinatown Gate and see the temple around there. Then we'll go on this planned trip through Airbnb Experiences to go to the floating markets, the orchard gardens, and other scenic destinations. And then after that, we have an hour or two to ourselves, followed by another tour to
what is it called?
Oh, and another tour to the reclining Buddha, as well as the temples around that.
Yeah.
And then we finally go off to our dinner reservation that Sid made at...
Yeah, it's called like Restaurant Sühring or something like that. But it's supposed to be really, really good. So yeah, we'll get some nice photos and fill up on that.
And to finish out the night, I think we'll try to hit up some of the nicer cocktail bars around Bangkok. Even the smell is
almost 9 a.m. So we're about to go eat some street food and go to the floating market.
She's more than perfect, she's not the type to go play apart. She came and killed my whole life, and just like Mike Tyson, now I'm here seeing stars. I could take all of my time just trying to describe her. I don't know where to start. All my life I knew she's my baby. I can't hide it, making me crazy. Sometimes I close my eyes and dream about when we met in high school, and I've been trying to tell her this lately. She's more father rock in the 80s. I think about her when I sleep, like back when we were 17.
That's crazy.
Or you wanna do the paddleboard? Like you can not that.
So as though we didn't just eat literally everything at the market, we were taken to a second location by boat for second lunch. We had submitted our orders ahead of time, and this super sweet lady in the kitchen made everything for us from scratch. There were a bunch of different dishes, both vegetarian and meat options available. And yeah, these little mochi balls were my personal favorite, and Hans loves a good mango sticky rice, so that was definitely his favorite. We ate over this floating pond and yeah, just kind of talked to our host a little bit more and explored the gardens. She explained to us that the whole reason she started this Airbnb experience was that A couple years ago, she was diagnosed with a quite serious health problem that prevented her from eating solid foods. So still to this day, it's really hard for her to eat. But instead of getting down and kind of shutting herself off from the world, she decided to take all of that and channel it into sharing food experiences with others. And yeah, we just thought it was such an incredible and inspiring story, and it just added so much more to our experience. After that, she took us to a local orchid farm, and it was really neat getting to see the greenhouses and all of the flowers in this sort of new environment. And yeah, they were really sweet. Everyone we met was so nice, so friendly, and we even got to take home some orchids. Cute. So of course we had to get in at least one fancy schmancy meal, and we decided to go to restaurant Sühring, which has 2 Michelin stars. It opened in 2016 and it's a modern German fare. So we thought that it was kind of interesting since we were eating German food in Thailand, but nevertheless, we went with it. It's run by these 2 twin chefs, Thomas and Matthias Sühring, and basically their culinary journey started when they were really young at their grandparents' farm, and a lot of that is reflected in the food. There's a lot of fermentation, pickling, smoking, drying, curing, all of which are found in the German cooking tradition, and it's not really food that we eat on a day-to-day basis, so it was really interesting getting to step outside of our comfort zone and experience new things. Everything was extremely innovative. Right here is a blue swimmer crab dish, and it had oyster, so many different ingredients. The bread service was unreal. There were so many different types of breads. There were also, I want to say, 3 different types of butters. We literally ate all of the butter clean, licked the plate clean, went for rounds and rounds and rounds of bread. They were probably like, oh my god, these Americans and bread, but it was so good. This right here was beautiful. It was a rainbow trout with apple, sorrel, horseradish. They had langoustine with vanilla and white asparagus. Everything was just plated so elegantly, so beautifully. The service was unbelievable. They were really sweet. One thing we noticed was everywhere we went in Bangkok, everyone was just so nice to us. I ordered a lamb, and they actually came out and showed us the lamb before they cut it off. They had some cod, and of course we had to go with the spatzel supplement. Basically these soft egg noodles with cheese and black truffle. Oh my gosh. They came to our table and shaved it right in front of us and explained every piece of the process to us, told us to mix it well. And I personally compartmentalize my food and eat it separately, but Hans is all about mixing, so he went all in on that one. We also got to choose our own knives for our meat courses. Hans went with the Hokkaido A3 Wagyu tenderloin, and I went with the lamb and herringbone and speck with pears, beans, and bacon. We also had an Imperial Osetra caviar supplement. So beautiful, literally stunning. This opalescent white chocolate dessert with lemon, basil, and puff rice was beautiful, and underneath they had a whole skew of different ingredients that you would never know. We also had a strawberry dessert with honey bread and the most beautiful quenelle of sorbet. It was so refreshing, and this perfect ring kept everything inside. We wanted it to fill the entire circle, so here's Hans trying to spread his around to complete the ring. And this was just another one of the beautiful touches that they had. They had a recipe book of their grandmother's handwritten recipe from a really long time ago that went with the sweets and pastries. And to end the night, they gave us a chocolate cake as we decided to do a little late anniversary celebration. You know, it's never too early or late to celebrate a momentous occasion, so yeah, make the most of it when you have your night out. We definitely did. We were so full, but had just a lovely, elegant dinner, and yeah, we highly recommend it to anyone who wants to go out for a special night in Bangkok. It was just beautiful. And as though we didn't treat ourselves enough, we decided to continue the luxury with a classic Thai massage. Okay, so it's the end of our first and only full day in Bangkok. There's Hans figuring out the flight stuff for tomorrow. We thought that we were leaving in the evening, but at dinner, good thing we checked, we're actually leaving tomorrow morning, so we have to pack up everything. And yeah, we'll definitely be back because we still have to eat a lot of food, see a lot of things. But overall, it was a really, really solid trip. We got to eat good food, meet great people, see a lot of like really interesting things. And it was just really fascinating seeing like a culture and a different, I don't know, like country that I had never been in before. Hans had already been 3 times before this, but I don't know, I think it was like a really cool experience for both of us, and we're really excited to come back.
Explain